Hi, it's justblinds.co.uk. We're showing you today how to fit a vertical blind. So you can see we've got a window recess here, and you'll have to excuse the drill holes because we've just taken the blind down in order to put a new one up and show you how to install it. When you've ordered your vertical blind, you would have received top fix brackets, which you can just see there is a top fix bracket. You may have received white, you may have received silver. They are hidden anyway, so it doesn't really matter. If you've ordered your blind for a conservatory, or if you didn't have a window recess, you may well have received a face fix bracket. And you can see that if this window recess wasn't here, you would be fitting to a straight wall, and so that is a face fix bracket. Equally so, it could be used to fit directly to the head of the window frame in a conservatory or a similar sort of scenario, really, where again you don't have a window recess. Okay, but for this demonstration we'll be showing you top fix brackets, because that is the most common. Now you can see we've already fitted one, and we've already drilled a hole for the second. But just to show you how we've actually reached that, you know where to put the hole, what you need to do is you need to measure from your window frame 3¼ inches, okay, or 85mm thereabouts. Now that measurement's not exact, that's the least it should be away from your window frame, and the reason being is that if it's any less, you'd actually your slats would actually foul the window handles there when they open and close. So you need to be at least 85mm. You can see we drilled the hole here, 85mm away from the head of the window frame. So if you measure from the window frame face, 85mm or 3¼ inches, and then drill your hole and plug it. So we'll just fit this second bracket now, just to show you how simple it is. When you're fitting this, make sure the longer part is to the back, so it's actually closest to the window frame. All that's for is that should you ever need to take the vertical blind rail down, you literally press that lever up and it releases the rail. But you don't want that poking out the front, so if you just fit that to the back, it would fit either way, but obviously it makes a neater job if you fit that towards the window frame. Okay, so once that's in place, you can see that's literally pressing that lever would release the frame should you ever need to take it down again. So once you've got both brackets in place, you may receive, this is only a small blind, so there's only 2 brackets. If you, depending on the size of blind you've ordered, you may have 3 or even 4 brackets. Just space those out equally along the run, really. So we'll now offer the vertical blind rail up, and what you'll see is you put the front in first, okay, on both sides, and then literally push the back up and you'll hear it click into place. Do that on both, and that is it. Your blind is up. It is literally that simple. Now, what you need to make sure is on this blind, it's a left-hand control. You can see the controls on the left-hand side, and you'll see that if you look at these carrier trucks here, you'll see that the pegs that actually the levers clip onto are more towards the front. If you see, they're kind of offset, so you can see that they're more towards the front of the blind. That's correct. So obviously, if you've ordered they will be marked up anyway on the head of the frame. It'll be wrote on right at the top of the rail. Will actually write on it left hand, right hand, and the size that you've ordered. But this is left hand control, and you can check you've got it right because those pegs should be towards the front of the rail. So once that's in place, do what we've just done and pull the cord so that all these trucks are all equally spaced now, and then you can start to hang your vertical blind slats. So if you turn, can you see how we've turned the controls to make sure that these hooks are in this position? This is so that when we hang the slats, rather than the slats be all closed, they'll actually be in an open position, okay? And that's what you need to do, really. Well, it makes it much easier to hang the slats, but we'll show you a reason. The blind mechanism can get locked unless we do this, and then we have to go through a routine to unlock it, but you can see that in our other video just in case you've made the error. So if you start to hang these slats, start at one end, and you can see that they are very easy to literally just hook on. And you can see if these were in a closed position, it would be more difficult, it would be more fiddly because you'd have to thread one behind the other and so on. But you can see that this is much easier than buying a ready-made blind that you'd have to cut the rail down, cut the slats down. All this comes made to measure, and you can see it takes minutes literally to fit each blind. Okay, and with all those in place, you can see now, just bear with me 1 second, that if if you go back to your control end and crank the rail both ways just to check that everything's all lined up, because sometimes there's a lot of mechanisms in these headrails, and sometimes when they're in transit the mechanisms can go slightly out of sync. So by turning the blind all the way, and if there's any clicks, just keep turning it. As it happens on this rail, there isn't. It's fine, the blind operates perfectly. Now, one thing you may have done, and you may not have done, so this is only for certain people, is you may have ordered it as a split opening. Can you see now as we're opening from the centre? Okay. If you've ordered your rail in that fashion, then what you'll need to do, because we bead all these louvers, all these slats for you in the factory, you'll need to open them and then literally just snip the chain in the middle so that they separate. Okay. You can have a little offcut of chain. Just literally throw that in your bin. And that's it. You have a split opening vertical blind, made to measure and literally fitted in minutes. You can visit our shop at www.just-blinds.co.uk and click on the tab that says shop, and you can buy these made to measure in a variety of colours and fit them yourselves.